So, when we think about the fight to save the world's most endangered animals, what usually comes to mind? Probably armed rangers, right? Well, a new force has emerged, and they are completely changing the game. They're a group of women who call themselves the Lion Queens, and their story, well, it's rewriting the rules of conservation.
Okay, so picture this, the South African bush lit up by a full moon. It sounds beautiful, doesn't it? Almost magical. But in the Balule Game Reserve, a full moon, it means something else entirely. It means danger. Because all that light, you see, it makes it so much easier for poachers to hunt, and it puts the reserve's wildlife in extreme danger. And their primary target? The rhino. Poaching in South Africa's parks is just through the roof right now, and it's all fueled by the illegal trade in rhino horns. These horns are often sold, ground into a powder, and used in some traditional medicines. It's created a devastating crisis that's literally pushing this incredible species to the brink. But here's where the story takes a turn. Because under that very same full moon, there's a different kind of hunt going on. Which leads to a really interesting question. Who is hunting the hunters? The answer is a group called the Black Mambas. And no, we are not talking about the deadly snakes. They're a new kind of ranger, and trust me, their approach to this whole problem is truly inspiring. So officially, the Black Mambas are a specially trained anti-poaching unit. Their mission is pretty straightforward, to be a constant presence in the park, day and night. They're basically forming a protective shield for the animals against these illegal hunters. But this is what really sets them apart. The unit is made up almost entirely of women, most of them in their 20s and 30s, and they're all recruited from the local communities right there around the park. And here's the most radical detail, the real kicker. They are completely unarmed. So you're probably wondering, how in the world does an unarmed unit take on armed, dangerous poachers? Well, it all comes down to a really unique strategy. It's focused on outsmarting their targets, not overpowering them. Their whole approach is built on intelligence, not confrontation. They spend weeks patrolling, becoming absolute experts at tracking human intruders. They're looking for subtle signs, a footprint, a broken branch, a poacher's camp, or one of those deadly wire snares. And when they find evidence, they don't engage. They act as the eyes and ears for a separate armed unit, who they call in to make the arrest. And this really highlights the core difference in their philosophy. Traditional armed rangers are often reactive, right? They're responding after an animal has already been killed. But the Mambas, they're proactive. By focusing on prevention and detection, they aim to stop poachers before they can strike. So, the big question, does this model actually work? Well, the results show it's not just working. It's delivering a massive victory on two separate fronts, one for the wildlife and one for the community. So, first, let's talk about the impact on wildlife. The Black Mambas started their patrols way back in 2013. In the years since, they have fundamentally changed the landscape of poaching in their area. We're talking a dramatic drop in illegal activity. How dramatic? Get this. Since 2013, the number of rhinos poached inside the Balulu Game Reserve has dropped to just 3. In a region that's been ravaged by poaching, that number is almost unbelievable. But for the Mambas themselves, it's not a cause for celebration. As one of them, 26-year-old Luki, puts it, for us, that's 3 too many. That just tells you everything about their mindset. Their goal isn't just reduction, it's elimination. 0 is the only acceptable number. And their impact goes way beyond protecting animals. That's the second victory here. It's a social one. You see, in a region with really high unemployment, the Mambas provide vital jobs. And in doing so, they are shattering old stereotypes about the role of women in their communities. Winnie, who is just 22, captures this spirit perfectly. She says, "Many people don't think women can do this job. We will show them that we can do it." And they are. They are proving that women can be powerful protectors and providers for their communities. This fierce determination, it really defines their identity. It's an attitude that's best described as, well, bite like a mamba. And this spirit is just perfectly summed up by another 22-year-old mamba, Latia, who proudly declares, "I am young, I am a woman, and I bite like a mamba." It's so much more than a job for them. For these women, it's a statement of power and identity. And all this leaves us with a pretty powerful question to think about. The Black Mambas have proven that this war can be won without guns, using intelligence and community engagement instead. So could this remarkable group of women be showing us the very future of conservation?